Hey guys, how are we doing? It's Sunday morning here, the last Sunday of June. I actually think that July is going to be a lot more positive for crypto. That's always been my thought process, that this range was going to come to a close sooner or later. Obviously, nothing is confirmed yet. And looking at confirmations, what we need to see is, first off, a close for Bitcoin, probably above the 62,500 level. And realistically, we want to be claiming this recent level that we fell down from at around 64 and a half. So realistically, if we're getting closes above 64 and a half to 65k, we're looking very, very good for the start of the next move out of this range. But obviously, we want this move to be like some strength in the move. I'll show you what I mean by that. If we look back to this area here, when Bitcoin was in the 40,000 region, we had this consolidation, and you want to see a strong move, boom, strength come in, continuation, consolidation again, more strength. That's what I think we will see, but it's just when we get to see that. What I'd like to see on the weekly close for Bitcoin specifically is a weekly close within this range, like I've been talking about. We've not had a weekly close outside of the bottom of this pink line here yet, and we're literally flirting with it again right now. We've had a bit of strength come in the last hour or so, but it's just like one candle as it stands that is at the minute rejecting, but let's see what happens. The weekend's normally quite slow for price action. Markets are closed. Yeah, as I said, it's normally quite slow, low volume. Low volume over the weekend and just shitty price action basically. So that's what I'm looking for. Looking for that weekly close. The daily close is basically just chopping about, holding this sort of range here. We have got some sell pressure, you see from these wicks, but let's just see, nothing's really changed in the last few days. We've sort of tried to hold a bottom, and we are doing that for now. The daily RSI has crossed back bullish again. Other things I'm looking at is this bombshell dropped on, I think it was Friday. Yeah, Friday. SEC sues Consensys, alleging MetaMask is an unregistered securities broker. It's really hard for me as an XRP holder to sit here and sympathize with people in the market, because we've said all along that the SEC are corrupt basically, and they're after everybody. But at the same time, it's just shit for the crypto market. Why is Gary Gensler out here doing this? He's getting smashed all over court. I do think there's probably some weird dealings with Consensys, and we've seen as XRP community, talking about how whales can get a lot of Ethereum when they were raising, and ways to hide it as securities. So there is all that side of it, but to be honest, it's just ridiculous now. They withdrew their Wells notice from Consensys, and now they're suing them. It's just a bit of a madness. I think it's Gary Gensler's throwing his last hat in the ring, but he's committing suicide to his career, in my opinion. It's madness, genuinely. I haven't got too much more to say about that. It's just that's what I wanted to basically point on. I wanted to quickly touch on the DXY. The DXY is in this ascending wedge pattern, which is commonly a reversal pattern. Like I talked about, the structure looks actually quite similar to Bitcoin dominance. These things normally break down to the downside. If we see that happen, it should be good for crypto. Oftentimes, crypto is inversely correlated with the DXY. And other than that, guys, there's not too much to report on today. XRP, we're going to touch on that, holding the bottom of this range quite nicely. Really starting to consolidate here. If this RSI starts to turn up, we're looking good. We'd like to see some big volume come through on a push. And I talked about it again over on Twitter, the Bitcoin versus XRP chart. We haven't confirmed anything yet. We're still consolidating below that level that I said, look, we need to get close above this white line. It's still acting as that resistance level. But we're still flirting up above that. And as I said, when we bounce down away from that and don't bounce down too far, it's normally quite a positive sign, although the RSI on the daily looks like it's going to cross bearish potentially. Weekly is a different story. Look, could say it's 3 white soldiers, but you would like to see this weekly candle close up here, which is only a few percent. If we get a few percent higher close here for XRP than Bitcoin, I'm talking 2.5% more, things are looking very, very good in terms of reversal. ETH XRP, not looking as good, but we are actually still holding that breakout level. We broke out, we've back tested, we've got that engulfing candle and we're holding, but again, we need to see that volume come through. But it is the weekend, so you can almost write these days off. That's basically the way that I think about things. And other than that, in the markets, there's not too much to report on, guys. I just want to keep it short and sweet, let you know what was going on and what we're looking for this week. It's a new month very, very soon. And let's have a look what the monthly close could look like for Bitcoin here. It's one thing I haven't actually checked recently. Yeah, look at it. Yes, the RSI is coming down a little. It's only just got into the oversold area. I actually genuinely think like we're in like a similar area to this area here, or even this area here for Bitcoin. Yes, you've come into the oversold area, and yes, we have then come back down from the oversold area. But the only reason I talk about oversold, like in terms of a positive way, is because in crypto, often the oversold area is when crypto prices start to go mad. Like if you see when Bitcoin was in the oversold area here, it's when you really start to ramp up. Again, when it moves into the oversold area here, it really ramps up. I think it's, as I said before, I think we got a bit ahead of ourselves because of the ETF and extra demand basically into the same sort of supply of the market. So I think we're in this sort of phase here, genuinely. Here, or maybe in here. And we're just about to start to turn up heavily when we get this next push. And you can see that even Bitcoin on the monthly, yes, it's not really done much, but people feel like they're losing their minds. If we hold this bottom of this range here, it's a higher monthly close than last month. Could that be the start of an indication to go higher? Flare Networks, guys, this token I've been buying the last like few weeks. I've got no dry capital left now, really. This looks like a great pattern for me. That's a clear wave 1 off the bottom. Wave 2 consolidation. Wave 3 should be a big pump. Normally wave 3 is 1.6 times wave 1. Wave 1 took us from 0.0078 cent all the way up to 8 cents. So it did a 10x. So on that basis, it should do a 16x from here. But obviously percentages are lower because market cap increases. But even if we just do like a 5x from here, guys, we're at like 10 cent. And if we, or well, we're not actually, we're at like 12.5 cent. And if we do a 10x, we're at like 25 cent. And that's mad. That's like here in this price area here. 25 cent flare would be blooming lovely. But I think that's what we're about to see in crypto. I think we're about to see some big explosions. Let me know what you guys think. What are you guys watching that I've not really been talking about? I would like to know because I feel like I get stuck in my own little echo chamber a little bit. Just checking on what I personally like. But let's see. I do think that he's probably going to start to do pretty well here. It's holding strong even with this Consensys lawsuit. The ETH ETF I think starts trading next week. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. It won't be sell side pressure from the ETF, like yes, buy the rumor, sell the news sort of thing. But the ETF itself is only buy side pressure. Whether institutions like hedge their books by shorting, but also buying the ETF, I don't know. But the institution itself should only really create inflow for ETH. And that's why the Bitcoin and ETH ETFs are both pretty good in the long term, in my opinion. Anyway, let's hope for less selling from governments next week. Let's hope for a change in the narrative and just some positive spark to push crypto higher. And I think it will probably come from liquidity. And I'm looking at Japan. I've been saying that for a while. Let's see what happens. Peace up, A-Town down, as Crypto Insight UK would say.